worse when sportsmen get into a little bit of a Barney? Explain.
Indeed, Amina, and good to be with you. So there's been a very interesting exchange between the football players Zlatan Ibrahimovic and the basketball legend LeBron James. Now, Zlatan Ibrahimovic has essentially called out LeBron James for LeBron James being very outspoken against police brutality and racial injustice in the US. It's garnered a few million views online. Let's take a quick look at the exchange.
He's a phenomenal in what he's doing, but I don't like when people, when they have some kind of status and they go in and they do politics at the same time. Stay out of it. Just do what you're best at, because it doesn't look good.
At the end of the day, I would never shut up about things that's wrong. I preach about my people, and I preach about equality, social injustice, racism. It's funny he say that, because I believe in 2018 he was the same guy who said when he was back in Sweden talking about the same things, because his last name wasn't a certain last name, that he felt like it was some racism going on. I speak from a very educated mind, so I'm kind of the wrong guy to actually go at, because I do my homework.
I watched this play out online, and the public reaction was largely in favor of LeBron here, but there was still the kind of shut up and dribble team who think sports people should have nothing to say outside of their very limited and successful arena.
That's correct, Amina, and let's not forget when Muhammad Ali, when Tommy Smith, when people like Colin Kaepernick also made their protests against the same issues in the US, there were also chimes to be quiet, sit down and stay in your lane. I'm not saying necessarily that Ibrahimovic was designing his words to have that impact, but they certainly fall into that kind of tradition, if you like. And I think a lot of people are also really bewildered by the words of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, because to say people shouldn't speak about politics is in itself a decidedly political statement, really. And actually, I think a lot of people recognize, were it not for people with their platforms speaking up on these issues, the world would look very different indeed. And frankly, millions more people really wouldn't be having the same conversations about the issues LeBron James has been championing. So there's a mixed reaction online. Let me go first to one tweet from Drew, who says, "What I find interesting about this is the irony. Zlatan is stepping out of his way to tell LeBron not to speak on politics. Did Zlatan major in public relations, or is he speaking on something he's not great at?" And we have a reaction from RM, who says, "I was never a LeBron fan, but the last few years he has won my respect, and not even from a basketball perspective, but this." But as you say, I mean, not everyone's in agreement. Mush tweeted, "I honestly think that LeBron is so arrogant. Zlatan is always right." So a mixed reviews online, Amina, but most of them seem to be quite appreciative of what LeBron James has been doing, particularly over the last summer.